Hey everyone. So, where do I even begin with this chapter? The fact that we learned that, oh yeah, the reason as to why Mother was planet Earth for a time was because she was devoured by a chronophage, and just Mother herself, in some shape or form, has just always existed in this universe, existed in the world, for eons, so to speak. Or how about the fact that we learned that after Mother's creation, like technically, the original the original witch, the original hermit, the original Valkyrie, the original Sis, the original Ivory, they were it technically this chapter technically confirmed, yeah, they pretty much all died the moment Mother was reborn, and that the shining stars are just technically copies of those people, and but even more so that Ziggy had 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 failed several times to create the shining stars, but ultimately arrived at the solution of recreating their memories. Or my personal favorite, the fact that seemingly from this chapter, the decision that Shiki now faces is something that you could actively make the argument that Mother forced the decision on Shiki, and that one, part of me genuinely wants Shiki to say screw off to Mother, and honestly, after learning that last bit, it's one of those things that makes me want Shiki to basically say screw off Mother and just go make his own destiny or something, like make his own destiny of the current situation. I don't know, but yeah, which part do you want me to start from, guys? Because you know what? Let's talk about Ziggy creating the first shining stars first, because there's a bit to digest there. Again, for example, we like I said, we learned that Ziggy had failed several times in order to create the shining stars, but ultimately did pretty much land on the ones on the versions we know today, and the ones where he had fabricated their memories. But the question that kind of still boggles me is why fabricate the memories in the first place? Because if what we can read incorrectly into this chapter is true, the implication, according to Pino, seems to be all those times that Ziggy had failed to recreate the starshines is when he tried implanting their real memories, and it wasn't until he arrived at the solution of fabricating their memories that he successfully created the duplicates. So and ultimately decided on preserving the real memories inside Pino. So the question then becomes, what's going to happen if we try to implant those memories back into the starshines? Are these versions even going to be able to take the stress load of it? Because again, that seems to be the implication. I can't say with certainty, but again, it seems to be what Mashima is trying to say with this chapter. Now maybe these ones are different, and that these versions are different, and they can handle that sort of stress load, and just possibly the trauma of it. I think honestly, just the trauma of. I think honestly, what the implication is, just the whole trauma of realizing that they're not the real ones, that the memories, that they're falsified versions of the people they used to be, kind of thing. I think that's probably what's caused all that failure before. And if so, yeah, it's pretty damn sad, I'm being honest with you. Hopefully we do reach a point where we can actually where we can actually see that happen. Because honestly, I want to see it happen even more, just to see how it would play out this time. But the other part I was to talk about with this is from basically from Ziggy having met Mother for the first time, we basically see that, yeah, that she reveals to Ziggy that Mother had become Earth, that she had become Earth from being devoured by a chronophage. And I'm not gonna lie, that is one of those things again where I've the chronophages have always been an interesting part of this story where they come back into the story in some form, but then I completely forget about them again. They come back again, I forget about them again, and so on and so forth. But again, the fact that the chronophage did come back in this case again, it does make so much sense as to why it was so hard to find Mother before, and only now as to why it was so hard to find Mother again, because honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Ziggy even wiped his own. I think it was revealed Ziggy even wiped his own memory clean of finding Mother. So it's like this kind of feeds, I think, into the reason as to why he wiped their memories, and so he technically wiped their memories and didn't give them fabricated their memories, because he didn't want Shiki to realize of this deal, of just this whole thing with Mother, and now that Shiki is faced with that, it's like, what exactly can he do? Like right now, Shiki, as you can see just from his reactions and realizations in this chapter, he's faced with that difficult decision, and I think it's a decision in some ways that Ziggy wanted to avoid Shiki from facing, I think, in some way. Which is the reason why he fabricated so much. He didn't do it, I think, intending for Shiki to find Mother. He wanted to avoid the meeting at all, I think, in some way. At least that's how it's feeling. I can't say with certainty, but it does feel like that way. And because again, like I said before, it does just from reading into like Ziggy's first meeting with Mother, it does feel like Mother just kind of forced this decision on Shiki. Like, she just did not give Shiki a choice at all. It's like, this boy is the last remnant of the planet Earth. He should be the one to make the decision. But it's like, you're forcing that decision on him to begin with. It's like, I question your morality in this one. I really do. Like, Mother, like, part of me, again, at this point, part of me just wants Shiki to say fuck off to Mother and just say, I'm gonna create my own destiny rather than bow down to the one rather than just bow down to the one you're laying out for me. But at the same time, it does feel like he needs to make a choice too. What that decision is going to be probably the most difficult decision he's ever going to have to make. And although, again, I'm like, is that, again, even in the back of my mind, even now, with all that we've learned, it's like, is that the only true decision he can make, or is there one more option in this thing? Like, again, it's like, like, part of me feels, again, I'm sure that there is, like, I'm sure that there is reason as to why Mother is doing this, but at the same time, it's like, part of it also feels like Mother might be, there's a small portion of this, there's like Mother might be lying somewhat. I just don't know to what degree she's lying. Like, I don't know, maybe I don't know, I feel for Shiki, though, like, I really do feel for him. Like, Shiki is being faced with, like, a, what the fuck am I supposed to do kind of situation. What the fuck am I supposed to decide? And yeah, the chapter itself pretty much lays out even further that yeah, it's because another is she said it herself. One choice is to revive Earth and become the source of ether for all the cosmoses. Or another is to the power to give to give Shiki a universe in which she can walk a path full of happiness. Although, I gotta talk about that path of happiness one for just a minute, because if honestly, the way she pretty much words that path of happiness one, it's almost seeming like the path where he chooses the path of like, it feels like it might not even be real. Like it might almost be like a simulation she creates or something. I don't know. Like it's like on some Matrix shit. Like I don't know, but it just feels that way to me. But and if so, that's even more fucked up. But but yeah, guys, that's just my review ramble about this chapter. Enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me, honestly, in your words, tell me what you would do in Shiki's situation. Like, what would your ultimate decision be in this case? I really want to know. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. Enjoy the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Analyst Crunchyroll, be sure to spell, hit the subscribe button, and just share it around, guys. Dark Knight of Anime signing off. Later, everyone.